Did you know that Walmart sells minis? Well, kind of. I happened to go to my local Walmart today looking for something else, and I came across these sets of solid metal minis from Jada Toys. These are all die cast. Paint job looks okay, but I thought we could go ahead and unbox these and take a look since I've been getting a lot of comments and I've seen a lot of people talking about them. Apparently there's a Red Dragon one I missed as well. So if you want to see what these are, stay tuned. What a world we live in. Walmart carries Dungeons and Dragons. What's going on, folks? Ted from Nerd Immersion here, and I had saw someone post about these, either message me directly or I'd seen something about these. And I'm familiar with Jada Toys, these kind of die-cast metal minis. You see them a lot for like superheroes or like pop culture. Like I saw a lot of Avengers and Marvel, DC. They also had a Harry Potter line for a while, which I had bought originally way back in the day because I was like, oh cool, Harry Potter, wizards, that would be good. But then I looked at it and I was like, well, wait a minute. The only one who kind of looks like a wizard is Dumbledore because he has like the hat and the robes. I'll be honest, looking at these, I can see the paint is pretty meh on the smaller figures. They are like iconic characters. We can talk about that once I crack these open. And they are way bigger than a standard mini. But, if that's not really an issue for you, that could be great. But the Beholder, in my mind, seems to be the real winner of this. And we'll pull up the Red Dragon on Walmart.com. And I'll put links so you can go and check it out for yourself. Because I think you can just order them online. Frame of reference, this box set with the Beholder was $10. And this was like $4, so for like $15 you can get all these together, not including tax. So let me switch us over to our kind of up close cam here. I've got a little gridded piece and we can see what we've got. So we jump over here and we can see here is my, I grabbed a Warlock tile because those were easy to do. And we'll leave a Hero Forge mini right there as a reference. So I'm going to go ahead and cut these open. Looks like we've got tape on two sides. And we can just kind of open up the box here and it will just, plastic clamshell will slide out. And the minis are just kind of set inside. And we can just go ahead and take this plastic piece out and pop the minis out. All right. So first up, we have the Orc Paladin. Half-Orc Paladin? It says Orc Paladin. So you can see right here, they are automatically going to be, at least as far as your grid is concerned, large size. The bases are wide to support. This thing is die-cast metal, so that's why you need a kind of a wider base just to support this thing. But if we bring this in and get a close-up, this paint job, pretty rough. This isn't so bad. You can see there's like the Hand of Torm, I guess, supposed to be on the shield there. Looks like there might be an eye in the middle. And then again, the face is just like, I don't know. You can also kind of see the the sculpt is kind of meh. But this is supposed to be the Orc Paladin when you flip to the Paladin page in the player's handbook. Like this is the orc that you see, and that's kind of what the theme is for a lot of these. I'm gonna go ahead and try to take this piece of okay, the Beholder is if we zoom ourselves out here, is held in with some plastic pieces, some little plastic zip ties here. Actually they're not even, the one that I just showed you wasn't even zip tied together. It was kind of loose, so we won't be able to take the clam shell piece out until we undo all these plastic zip ties. Okay, there. Now we should be able to, I think. Pull these plastic pieces out. Yeah, there we go. All right. So next up, we have our Tiefling Paladin. Now, this is actually, I think, the Oath of Conquest Paladin that's in Xanathar. She's got sort of the skull mace you can kind of make out there. Once again, the face, she's got, you know, dark pupilless eyes, which is pretty cool looking, kind of like a demon thing. There looks like there is a nose and a mouth there, but it's barely distinguished. Let's see, I guess we can use a pen to help point stuff out. You can see there is, like, you know, some blades and daggers and some kind of greaves upper leg armor design. And if we flip her over, just pretty much smooth paint on the back. There's a little kind of gunk there. Obviously, if you are a painter and you like minis and stuff, you could possibly just, honestly, probably I would say, you know, throw a wash on this to kind of bring out some of this detail. But, you know, obviously you could repaint this. You can see the skull here. It does say Wizards on the bottom here, 2020 Wizards, made in China for Jada Toys. So there is our Tiefling Paladin. Get our Bard out next. And this Bard is in the Bard section of the Player's Handbook. This is the one you see kind of walking down the street. He has the guitar slung over his shoulder. So if I go ahead and show you him, he looks very severe. Look at those eyebrows. His hair kind of, at least in this light, is kind of blending in with his skin, but he's got white hair. Again, got kind of a pearlescent, cloak here. And I think that's supposed to be his hand, like over the lute guitar type thing, because this is his hand over here. So I guess that might be that. Again, not a whole lot of detail on this guy's boots. He's got his little purple shirt on and purple pants. All right, we'll grab Minx out of here next. All right, we have Minx and Boo. That little blob on the shoulder there, that's supposed to be Boo. But clearly when they printed this and paint, or, you know, whatever they do, however the process is, they didn't paint Boo any kind of like hamster color, so Boo is a little purple blob on Minx's shoulder. Again, like I said, potentially a wash might help bring out some of the detail in Minx's armor. They did somehow, with the way that the paint jobs have been, I'm impressed that they managed to get the face tattoos, the purple tattoos on his face there, and have it not just make his whole head purple. No sword or anything for Minx. His leg armor sort of just blends into the base. Oh, his sword's on the back here, but again, it is a purple sword on a purple cloak, so it almost doesn't even matter. And then kind of the one that I'm sure everybody's been waiting for, the most exciting one, is the Beholder. And if we zoom ourselves out here, we can kind of get a look at our Beholder. The Beholder. Now the base is a large size base, so this is accurate for a Beholder. And this is pretty well done, I'd say. You could paint the individual eye stalks if you wanted, but the sculpt on this is really nice all around here. The eye is good. The paint is well done all around. There's a couple little splotches right there. There's whatever this thing is in the back. I don't know what that's for. Maybe that's just like a kind of a plug for the metal work. I'm not sure. And there's a little kind of smudge here. I think you can see that on the bottom. Oops. Right there. But for the most part, this is a nice Beholder. And this looks like not necessarily Xanathar, but I like this Beholder a lot. It'll be a nice one to add to my collection with all the other ones. So this is the clear winner out of this whole set. So the next set we have has on it Drizzt, Dragonborn Cleric, Human Fighter, and Mind Flayer. So this one, I think we can just open the top. Yeah, I'll just pull out a little kind of tray, and they're all just sort of sitting inside this clamshell. So let's start with Drizzt. So here we go. Our legendary, Ari Salvatore just released the newest novel in the series, the Drizzt, Legend of Drizzt series. So we've got a gold scimitar. I guess this is what that is. I guess that's supposed to be a hilt. This is just, and he's got his green gloves with his non-distinct fingers. Once again, similar to Minx, his boots blend. This is just like globs, like his pants. Like, this is supposed to be pants. This is the bottom half of his leather armor, and they just painted it green too. Over top of his, like, they were doing green pants, but they did green armor, I guess, too. The boots just blend right into the base. Again, no real, it's not super distinctive mouth here. They also didn't do his eyes purple, which is like his whole thing. They just did white eyes. I guess that's a sword. And if we turn around the back, at least they colored this sword separately. It's not like Minx's sword, where it's a purple sword on a purple cloak. Because at first I was just like, how, when I saw him in the package, you just see him like this, you know, sitting at, looking at you like this. And I was like, how did they do Drizzt and only do one scimitar? But I feel like they really cheaped out by putting the scimitar along the back, so they didn't have to have another piece of metal extrusion. Because he's got a cloak, you know, this kind of, they do have a nice shiny metal look on all of them because they are die cast, which is kind of nice. And again, like I said, you might want to potentially, if you were going to use this, these are the, supposed to be scabbards, I guess, for his two scimitars coming out the back, because you can't see those here. You might be able to paint this, like, again, maybe make his armor not brown to green, maybe just all armor brown. Maybe bring out some of the details if you want. I don't know how much you're going to get, because it is kind of a smooth casted metal. Here is a Dragonborn cleric, and I believe this cleric, I didn't even know it was a cleric, honestly. I kind of just thought it was a sorcerer, is what's in the Dragonborn section in the player's handbook. So this one actually isn't so bad. We kind of, again, the feet blend into the base because they're both the same color orange, but I really am digging the kind of blue armor with like the chainmail here. The upper arm chainmail is a little, you know, a little kind of muted there. And then again, we've got sort of the Dragonborn sort of dread beard thing going on, yellow eyes. Here's his orange scimitar or sword or whatever. And then he does have this sort of like, so we can kind of lay him down there. He has this sort of like wand scepter thing that is kind of like a dragon. This would be something I would want to put some paint on to try to bring out more of the detail in this little dragon piece. All right, we'll do our human fighter next. And again, this fighter is the fighter that we see in the player's handbook in the fighter section. So really big, you know, shield here, very smooth. We've got the, there you go, again, kind of metal colored armor, blue pants. In this hand, he has a spear that he's somehow also holding with his shield. I guess the shield must be strapped to his arm. This one, I'd say they actually did the most facial detail other than like the Minx having the face tattoo, because they did the mustache and it actually came out pretty well, I'd say, in the grand scheme of things. Again, we've got sort of like a, not actually sure what kind of armor you would call this, but maybe again a wash could bring some of this out. Holding a sword here. Our boots blend into the base, although these seem a little bit more descriptive. They're not sort of just like blob paint that blends right in. You can actually see some detail in the legs. Ooh. And then on the back here we have our silver, our scabbard. Oops. Man, sorry. These are really slippery because they're so metal. Scabbard. Got a little bit of gold, you know, coloration here on the back. And actually, this is the most textured hair. I mean, I know the character does have, you know, like, I don't know if they're dreads or what they are, and I can't remember in the player's handbook. But the hair is, you know, got texture to it here, whereas pretty much everybody else that we looked at just had like a smooth blob of hair. Kind of if we compare the hair to the half-elf to the fighter, it's just like a blob. There's no texture to it. Does the half-orc have texture? No, the half-orc doesn't even have texture on his hair. It's just sort of like a ponytail, or the orc paladin. All right, and coming up last, we have the Mind Flayer. And again, this is based on the Mind Flayer art in the monster manual for the Mind Flayer. So, we've got, you know, I guess there's sort of some sort of like ribbed robe here in the front here, segmented robe. We can see, you know, he does have white eyes. They did get to that. Because he doesn't really need a nose or a mouth, this probably has the best, other than the Beholder, like the best facial features of any of the minis here. Again, he's got his black and you know, red cloak, his high collar on the back. His head's a little, I don't know if that's supposed to be texture on the head there, or if it's just kind of like misshapen from the mold that it came out of. But, you know, he's pretty good too. But again, if you're worried about accuracy on your grid or your terrain pieces, he's going to be 10 feet. I guess you could kind of diagonal them so they kind of fit in, you know, diagonal them a bit so they fit in the 5-foot square on the terrain. The only problem too is everyone is set with such a wide stance that it's not even like you could try and clip with like a pair of tin snips or some sort of cutters. You couldn't even clip the base and try to like put them on a regular 5-foot, you know, size like this 5-foot, you know, 1-inch kind of diameter base, because they had to set them in such a wide stance to deal with the fact that the minis are so heavy and made out of metal that the wide stance helps them stay upright. You know, if you notice that everybody has sort of wide set feet, especially the larger they are, the wider their feet are set apart. I guess the one with the closest feet, because he doesn't have much sticking out, is the elf. So this one you might actually be able to like clip the metal base off or cut it off somehow, and then he would actually fit within a 5-foot square. Same thing. I mean, the Mind Flayer might be tight because of the base. But yeah, I saw these at Walmart. Someone had brought them up to me, and I said, you know, hey, this would be kind of a cool thing to do a video on. Again, not super accurate, not spatially accurate on a battle map. But if you wanted to go pick up some cool minis, whether you want to put these, you know, on your desk, or you want to have these, you know, if battle maps aren't necessarily the super most important thing for you, but you want to have, you know, accurate minis, as it were, you could do so with these. And then I think I can, let's see if we can find the other ones on Walmart's website here. I don't know. So we'll jump over to Walmart's website. So we can see right here that this is, here it is, Jada Toys Nano Metal Figs, $9.84. They actually have a really extensive set of pictures showcasing the box, showcasing all the minis inside and out. Let's see if we search Dungeons and Dragons. Maybe we can find the other ones on here as well. Did you know you could? Oh, here's the one we wanted to show. This is the $14 one. This one looks like it comes with a different iteration of the human fighter that we just saw. Same sculpt, just slightly colored differently. Same thing with the Tiefling Paladin, just slightly colored differently in a gold robes. I actually kind of almost like this one better. We have some sort of, oh, this looks like the Drow Rogue, the sort of assassin looking one in the Rogue section. And then we have a Dwarven Fighter, Dwarven Cleric, and then we have a Red Dragon. So the Red Dragon actually looks pretty nice if we take a look at the sculpt. Again, similar to the Beholder, these are much bigger so they can be a little more forgiving with the paint job. And I actually really like this. Like I mean, also, I can just buy them right now. And we can get them delivered to the house. So anybody should be able to do this. We can get a little closer look at all of the different minis. Let's go ahead and see what they say they are on the front cover of the box, if they show that. It is Human Fighter, Tiefling Paladin, Drow Elf Rogue, Dwarf Cleric, and Young Red Dragon. So this is kind of what you'd be getting. This is $14.92 for this. The Beholder one, so looks like it's significantly larger compared to the minis. So again, that's a nice dragon, and if you're looking for cheap, I mean, this is solid metal too, so it's gonna be heavy. You could, in theory, buy a couple of these if you wanted, paint them different colors. Again, there's probably cheaper ways to go about it. There's the Beholder. I was trying to see if we could find anything else. You can get a TM or as a Tiamat jigsaw puzzle. I wish. Can we search? Let's just search. Can we search Jada Toys? That would have been the ideal thing. Dungeons and Dragons. Oops. Don't knock over the camera, Ted. All right. Let's see. Jada. Oops. Dungeons and Dragons. Let's see if we can find what else they've got on here. No, it looks like it's actually just that. They don't even have that little set we had with the dwarf, with the Dragonborn in it. So if we look online on Walmart, it looks like we can get the Beholder one and the Dragon one, which isn't bad. You know, I'll put links in the description to those, the Walmart website, if you want to go and check them out, pick them up for yourself. I'll just give you a heads up. When I went to mine, they were kind of on like the front end cap, like right when you walk into the toy section, not like where the board games are or where like the action figures or things were. They were kind of out on the front. I don't know if that'll be the same at your store, but anyway, I just thought these were interesting. Like I said, I'd seen these toys before. You can get all sorts of different packages of these in a bunch of different sizes, and they might be available at other places than just Walmart, but I just happened to be there, and that's where I saw them. So let me know what your thoughts are in the description down below. Are you going to be picking these up for yourself? Is the kind of really just lack of a paint job and definition a turn off for you? Maybe the size of them not being perfectly accurate isn't a thing you like. But again, this guy, pretty solid. And I mean, he's on his, you know, he's pretty heavy and he's on his base pretty good. So, you know, the dragon would also be nice just to have as another version of something. So let me know what your thoughts and opinions are in the comments down below. Thank you again to my patrons over on Patreon for continuing to support me and the channel. And I will see you all next time.